So we're going to quickly talk about stand placement and kind of what trees you want to pick / avoid. Here we have two kind of extreme examples. We have a dead snag here on a nice tree that would be climbable. Obviously we want to avoid that. And even right behind it there's a dead snag standing straight up. You'd probably want to avoid picking a tree in the immediate area, of course, just in case wind blows and it happens to fall down. So another thing to think about when picking a tree to put your tree stand in is poisonous plants. Right here we have a prime example of poison ivy. You can see this thick root here, or thick vine going up the tree, and it has 3 leaves coming off each stem. So first we're going to get into how to set up a hang and hunt setup. So I do have my safety harness on. I have my line belt attached to my harness here, which will help me, stay safe around the tree. Basically what this enables you to do is go hands-free when you're hanging your stand and steps to get up to the stand. So your first step of hanging a hang-on stand is going to be, of course, get your gear ready. So here I have my stick separate from my stand. And we're going to start by setting the first stick on the tree. Of course, there's different models of sticks, different brands, different companies, so they might be slightly different. Here I have sticks that have 3 steps and just a strap that you wrap around the tree. And the first one doesn't require you to get connected to the tree. You can do everything from the ground right here. Yeah, I'm glad we came back. Okay, with my first step on the tree, I'm ready to put my second step on. Here, we want to pay attention to where we want to be on the tree and where we want our tree stand to face. So that's important in determining which way you want your steps to face. So that way you have a nice, easy path from the sticks into the stand once you get the stand hung. Good there. Here I'm getting my second step ready. Now this one, you'll still be able to do without your harness. It makes it slightly more efficient. And you're not that far off the ground. So you want to put your first step, or you want to take your first step on your first stick and get up on the tree. Make sure to get that nice and tight. And again, remember to set your steps so they're nice and easy to climb up. I will now take my alignment hook and wrap it around the tree. So again, I will be connected to the tree as I ascend up, and I'll be able to go hands-free safely to be able to work on the rest of my sticks and my stand. See here, I'm leaned back into my lineman's belt. My safety harness is holding me, so is the lineman's belt against the tree, so I can freely work with my hands. And remember to be able to take your time here. You don't want to rush. You want to make sure you set your stand safely, so you're not rushing to your hunt, and everything works out fine. So now that I have my third sticks set up, this is how high I'm going to be going in this particular tree. So I'll climb back down to get my stand. One thing that's noteworthy, remember to always keep your lineman's belt above what you're working on so you don't get tangled up in your own work. So now that I'm at the top of my tree sticks, if you guys can see here, my last step is facing to the left, which means I'll be nice and easy to step on it with my left foot, and with my right foot I'll be able to step nicely into the stick. So with my knee here, I support the stand just approximately where I want it to go. So now I'm approximately where I want my tree stand to be hanging. With my right knee here, I support the stand just to have another anchor point to be able to again work with my hands here. And I'm going to try to swing the strap around the tree of the top connector here of the stand, just so that the stand can stay in one place. So now that I got the top connector strapped onto the tree, the stand is hanging freely on the tree. I'm not completely done yet, but now I am hands-free again. The safety harness and the lineman rope is holding me tight to the tree, and I'm going to be able to work on the bottom connector of the stand. Now that I have the bottom connector connected to the stand here, the bottom strap, the stand is holding onto the tree, and what I'm going to want to do now is fold the stand over to be able to tighten the strap. So again, with my knee, I'm holding it, and with my one hand, I'm pulling the straps tight on both the bottom and the top of the stand. This allows the stand to grip into the tree. Now that I have both straps tightened to the tree, the stand is gripping into the bark of the tree, and my lineman's rope is still holding me here. I'm able to step up with my left foot, and with my right foot, nice and easy, into the tree stand. So now that I'm fully in my stand is set up, I'm now going to attach a harness strap to the tree. There's different ways of connecting yourself to the tree. This is my way of doing it, and this allows me to constantly stay connected to the tree. I haven't unclipped my lineman's belt yet, so I'm still safe there. Once I wrap this, I'll be able to hook my harness clamp to the strap and safely undo my lineman's belt. Now that I have the safety harness strap on the tree, I'm going to take my safety harness tether here with the hook on it and hook it into the strap. And you want this strap to be about shoulder to head height on you so that the harness rope is out of your way when bow hunting. But now that I'm connected here, I can safely undo my lineman's belt. So now that I'm comfortable up in my tree stand, I have my safety harness again hooked to the tree, and now I'm ready to start hunting. Before I do that, I have my haul line here connected to my gear down at the bottom of this on the ground. You don't ever want to set up your stand with a bunch of gear on your back, your backpack, or your bow in hand. Obviously, you want to be as hands-free as possible so that you can set up everything nice and safely. So now I'm ready for my gear to come up. So I have my haul line here connected to my gear on the ground, and I safely hoist it up. Talking about the climber stand, which is another popular style of hunting stand. We're going to be using the same tree here. This is a lot more important with these climber stands to find a nice, tall, straight tree. If you have any branches, you're not going to be able to get around them safely with the climber stand. So you really want it to be nice and clear and have ample room to climb up the tree. So this is a two-piece stand. So you have your top piece of the climber and you have the bottom piece of the climber right here. So the first step with this kind of stand is to wrap the cable or the strap that connects the stand to the tree around the tree and get it set nice and even, both top and bottom, towards the base of the tree, so you have something easy to work with. So on a climber stand, you really need to pay attention to a couple things, but one major thing is to have both top and bottom pieces connected. So this particular style stand comes with this sort of bungee strap. You could also tie it together with paracord or any other kind of rope that you have laying around. But an important part is you don't want it to be longer than your torso is. If for some reason your bottom stand would fall down and slip down the bark of the tree, they'll be connected enough so that you can safely step down to the bottom part of the stand without having it fall all the way to the bottom of the tree. So here I'm just getting the cable unhooked from the bottom section of the tree. I'm going to hang that below the top section here at the base of the tree, so I have, again, a nice, easy, maneuverable area to work with. One major key here when setting a climber stand is when you're at the base of the tree, you want both sections to be angled upward. This ensures that the teeth on the back of the climber here in the V have a very good grip, especially when you put your weight on it. And when you go further up the tree and the tree narrows, it'll start to level itself out. A climber can get dangerous once both sections are below level. That's when you'll have too much slack between the cable and the climber, and you'll be at risk of having the teeth slip from the bark. Now that I have both sections of the climber stand connected to the tree, and I'm still on the ground here, I'm going to connect my lifeline to the tree. So similar with the hang and hunt setup, you had your lineman's belt connecting you to the tree while you're setting your sticks and stand. Here, you already have your two pieces set. Now what you're going to be worrying about is climbing up the tree. So with this lifeline, you'll be able to loop it around the tree and have what's called a prusik knot to hook your harness clip into and move that up the tree as you're climbing. Now I'm ready to start climbing with my climber stand. Again, we're just a couple feet off the bottom of the tree here. We have a good angle in both the top and bottom sections of the climber stand. And I have my safety lifeline hooked around the tree right here. These safety lifelines come with a prusik knot, which is where you'll connect your tether, your safety harness tether to, and move that up the tree as you're climbing with your climber. So again, I'll point out here, my safety tether of my harness right here is clipped onto the prusik knot of the safety line. So this will really move up as I'm climbing the stand, and I'll be able to slide this knot up the rope as I ascend the tree. So when you have both of them set and you're starting from the bottom of the tree, you want to stand straight up on the top or on the bottom part of the stand and sit on this front rail of the top portion of the stand. That puts all your weight on the top portion of the stand, which makes the bottom section of sand a lot easier to move up. Now all my weight is on the bottom of the stand, and I'm going to really move the top section up, lock that into place. Again, put my body weight on it, and the teeth are digging into the bark, which again makes it nice and easy to move the bottom part of the stand up. So now that I'm at hunting height and I'm comfortable where I am with the climber, I set my seat here with this style of climber, a nice cushion seat that wraps around the trunk of the tree here so it stays in one place. And again, remember I'm connected here with my harness to my safety lifeline with the prusik knot. Similar to the harness strap that I set with the hang and hunt system, this you're going to want about head height. Again, you're going to want this tethered kind of out of your way so you have nice free range of motion to be able to draw your bow and hunt comfortably. When you're done hunting, you're going to want to do the opposite of what you did to climb up the tree. You're going to want to lower the bottom section first, put your weight on the bottom of the stand, lower the top, so on and so forth until you're safely on the ground level. When going down though, you want to make sure to slowly add your weight to the bottom of the stand You want to make sure that you feel and even hear the teeth digging into the bark before you put your full body weight on it. Again, we don't want any of the sections to slip down the tree. We want to do this as safely as possible. And remember, we're still always connected to the tree. I got my safety line, my tether here connected to the prusik knot, and when I'm descending, I want to put my hand above the knot, slowly just slide it down to where I'm going to be next. Descend from the tree. Again, slowly put your weight on the bottom, move your top, move down the harness, knot, and then so on and so forth until you're safely on the ground. Am I in the frame nicely?
You're beautiful.
Okay. Camera always makes things nerve-wracking.
It does.
I know.
All right, you're on.
Like Ricky Bobby.
Yeah,
Well, at least we can edit everything.
bring in multiple takes. Nothing matters as long as he's fine. We got all day.
Okay.